Really strange. How is everyone? This subject is about detoxing. I really don't know anything about detoxing. It's just a drink that I am drinking, and I bought it at actually at 7-Eleven. And this is what it's called. It's let me put the top on it because I'm sure that I'm going to spill it if I don't cover it up. So hi, this is live with Maria, but today is just Maria. It's not even live with Maria. It's not Mawipa social media. It's just my YouTube, and that's it. It's called Maria. That's it. So this is what it's called. It's called the cold. Let me see. Cold organic pressed juice, and this one is clean and green. This is like supposed to detox you or something like that, or clean you out. And it's kind of minty flavored, and it does have like a minty flavor and it does have like a green tea. Well, I shouldn't say green tea. That's not what it has. It actually has kale, cucumber, apple, and this is the brand right here. And it's spinach, mint, and I told you it has like a minty flavor. Celery and lime and parsley. And this is 100% vegetable and fruit juice blend. So this is like a fruit juice blend. And I knew it. Like when I tasted it, this thing gets me. I already tried like 2 of them and I thought it was just like regular juice. But it's not. It's not regular juice. It's like a juice blend. Like you blend it in a blender. I mean, you could do your own, your own drink. I mean, you don't have to buy it, you know what I mean? But this is really good. This is the first time that I've ever tried this, and the others are like another flavor. So this is like to clean you out, because I haven't been feeling well, and so I want to find something that also, since I'm not feeling well, I also want something that's going to keep me full and not me eating all the time. Which, of course, I have to measure what I eat because I suffer from high blood pressure. And I don't really know if this rises your blood pressure for some of the stuff that it has. It's real good. I mean, this one, I'm gonna not lie to you, it doesn't taste really good, but it's always the bad stuff that you think that are not good for you. Like, okay, the bad stuff, like, okay, like frankfurters or soda or Sprite or stuff like that. Let's just put, for example, those are the stuff that we really like to consume, or we consume every day. Okay, like caffeine and stuff like that. I'm not one to lie that I don't consume soda, and I definitely don't consume that stuff in my body. Like, I'm not the kind of person that eats meat every day, but I'm also not a veggie person. Like, I'm not an everyday veggie person. I'm more like a fruit person. And depending on the fruit, because I am allergic to cantaloupe. So depending on the fruit, I like raspberries, I like cherries, I like strawberries, I like orange, I like mandarin, I like apples, I like grapes, I like green apples also. So I'm on more like on the fruit family side. I don't like my vegetables. I do not like the only vegetable I think that I really like and that I can really, you know, uh, like keep it in my tummy is spinach. Like spinach is good. I like broccoli. I like some lettuce. I don't like all lettuce, and I definitely don't like tomatoes. So, but anyway, I don't consume all the time junk food, but when I do, like if I'm eating a lot of junk food outside, like when you're outside and you're hanging out with your friends, or you just want a quick bite outside and you just happen to see a McDonald's or a Burger King, those are foods that are really not healthy for you. So recently, I was in the hospital like for like I was in the hospital like not for 2 months, but I was like 2 months, no, That's a lie. Last year, 2018, I was in the hospital. Well, I thought that I was going to stay in the hospital, and they did a procedure. And that procedure was that they wanted to see if I had heart blockage. Not a heart blockage either. They wanted to see if I had a blockage in my heart. And luckily, I didn't have that. But it was a kind of like a scary process because you go, you're under anesthesia, and like they half sleep you. It's not like you're asleep all the way through. But I thank God that no, I don't have any, like any clots or any veins that are blocked or anything like that. I'm happy for that because I know, I don't eat grease, and I don't consume a lot of, I don't put anything fried in my mouth. I mean, it's very rare that I take like French fries or anything that has to do with the uh, food fries or anything. I don't eat that because I know that that's not healthy for me. And it's not healthy for people who suffer from high blood pressure. And it's not healthy for people who are diabetics. It's not really helpful. And we want to keep that, down. I am like sometimes I'll get a sugar panic attack. Like I'll be, eating a lot of sugar and then until my tummy hurts and then I have to stop eating. So basically I do everything on in one day. I consume so much sugar. Like when I feel like eating sugar, I consume anything that is sugary. So this has all the good stuff in it, but I'm making like my ugly face, like, ooh, I don't want it because of the way that it tastes. And so when it's something that is really healthy for us, we're not very, how would I say, very complacent to trying anything that is different and out of our normal eating. So I'm going to drink this because I was just drinking it before. And I was like trying to trick my mind. Oh, like this is good. This is good. This is good for you. Oh, this is so good. But, for people who love like minty stuff, this would be your drink. But they have other drinks, and I got this actually at 7-Eleven. And it's not really expensive. Like, I'm not going to say that it's not expensive, but compared to other juice blends, this is actually cheap. So, yeah, like, I'd rather do this than, and I'd rather do my own, but, right now, I can't afford, let's just put it like that. I can afford it, but I don't want to waste what I have because, I have to keep it. I have to manage, my money, so, or even my food stamps or whatever, but I have to manage. So anyway, that it's really breezy here in Las Vegas. I mean, it's freaking a really breeze outside. Like, oh my God, it's been like that. Like that breeze picked up just recent, like not long ago. Like it happened like a few minutes ago. You should hear it. It's like like that. And yeah, my dog wanted to go out. He wants to go out and walk. And it's really breezy. And not only that, it's pouring outside. Like here it is. Like I don't know if it's pouring because to me it seems like it's pouring because I'm hearing it, but it may not even be pouring outside. I mean, it just may be the wind, but it's really windy out there and it's really cold. So how is everyone? I'm hoping that everybody's doing good. We're into the weekend, almost. It's still Thursday, people, but tomorrow is Friday, and we're looking for the long weekend because it will be Martin Luther King on Monday. And so happy long weekend to everyone. So, just recently, like, that's gonna be a couple of days ago, I saw this lady. She was crying on Facebook, and she was like so upset because she was about to make an announcement. I just read the article today, and I was gonna put up his picture and stuff like that. I'm actually and I wish that I could do it here right now, but can't do it. So anyway, I'm just gonna put up his picture later. And this, he was a pastor. He was a pastor, but anyway, I saw her on Facebook, and she was desperately wanting to, you know, spread the message of what had happened to her niece. Very, very tragic. It goes to show that you can't trust everyone, and that when I heard about it, I was like total shocked. Like wow. I know that this is going to sound really bad, and I know that there are a lot of people out there who are really faithful devouts, okay, and they're not going to appreciate what I'm going to say. And I'm not trying to convert anyone or trying to change anyone's mind or decision on how they should go about their faith and their religion, and how they should, do their thing. I'm tricky about that, you know. When I see God, we're not, like, not all of us are going to have, and I still say it, not everyone is going to have the privilege of seeing God. I mean, people, like that, that father who did that to that, I don't know whether it was her father. I think it was her father. Well, anyway, he was a pastor in a church, okay? He was a Baptist, and he was raping his 14-year-old daughter for a long time. And I do believe after his mother died, he was doing this, okay? And so really, there's no excuse for you to hurt a child. And he was at church preaching. Here's this person preaching God's way. He was preaching holiness, and he was preaching of how others should live, how others should go to church and repent for their sins. And I have a problem with that. Like in the Catholic Church, we didn't know about all these priests molesting all these young boys. And when that came out, a lot of people agreed. Like a lot of people would say, well, maybe some people were not surprised. That's what I'm trying to say. And many of these priests that, were preaching and, would give the daily sacraments and, the daily Eucharist, I should say, and also sacraments, were sinners themselves. And nobody's perfect, but in this case, we're talking about children. We're talking about children. You are taking their innocence away. You're taking a portion of, or more of, something that they will never get back. And he was, like, making her feel like, don't say anything or I will go to jail, or I will go to prison. I admire the little 14-year-old girl because she came out. She came out and said it, you know, and what her father had, what her father was doing to her, and it's, you know, it. I saw the devastation on that lady's face when she says to please make this video viral. Let's get this man behind bars, you know, and to the family and they finding out that this little girl had been raped by someone who was very close to her. And sometimes those are the ones that are more likely to hurt a child, are the ones that are close to you, who are the closest to you. I am a Latina, and I don't believe in leaving your child with anyone. You know, if you have a child, leave your child, you know, take care of your child yourself. You know, I also don't believe, you know, like not all people are like that. But for example, this is, you know, he's a pastor. He's supposed to live and set an example, you know, for the followers. And here he is, you know, preaching God's word. And yet he was going behind the church and raping his daughter. Matthew, that's his name, Pastor Matthew, I think it is. Matthew Gibson, that's his name. Unbelievable, you know, that so many children are being, their innocence are being taken away from. That little girl will never forget that, and the fact that she came forward and was brave enough to even come forward and tell her family must have been something very, very hard for her to do. Very frightening, because I'm not assuming, but I do believe that she was threatened, and that's why it took her so long to do it. We're talking about a 14-year-old here. And I could almost imagine that during all that time that she was being raped by someone that she looked up to, you know, took something away from her and destroyed her life. Her childhood memories will be filled of trauma because of this man. And when looking at it, when I saw this, there really was no color. There really was no, in that sense, there really, when you think about it, well, when I was thinking about it, I wasn't thinking about, wow, look at this black man did this to it. No. I thought to myself, look at this man. Look what a piece of shit of a man to do that to his own child, and to make her feel guilty to saying it makes him even more dirtier and more it makes it even more sick. So when I heard the news, I just, you know, like I said, wow, they put her on Pix 11, by the way, and I don't know her name. She did say her name, but she was on Pix 11, and I could see the devastation in her face, and I could see the devastation and the worry on that lady's face. And I just can't believe it. I mean, when are the little kids going to have someone to voice for them, you know? when is it that we're going to stop hurting children because they don't have a voice? And so people who are adults, who are sick people, that's what they take advantage of, is the innocence. You know, they take advantage of the innocence of the child because they're defenseless and they don't have a voice. They don't have anyone to say anything. And if you pressure the child to say something and they're supposed to be quiet about it, that's what they're going to do because they don't know any better. And I hope that video is somewhere out there, and I hope that it does go viral. I hope they put his ass away for it. And you know something? I think they put. I don't know where I read. I hope it. I read so much stories today about kids being hurt, being abused, and people like having like sentences like for 10 years. I was saying to myself, shit, it's not enough punishment for what that person did to that child. It's not enough. They should be in prison for the rest of their days. When you hurt a child, you should be in prison for the rest of your life, and you should never have bail. You should never see the day of light. Why? Because it's a child, and when you sit in a court and you hear 10 years, it doesn't fit the crime. For what that person did, it doesn't fit the crime. I mean, here's a person that raped a girl for how long? And nobody knew because he was threatening her and manipulating her to thinking that if she said something, he would go to jail, which he's right. He's right. He was right. He's so fucking cynical that he would dare to say that he would go to jail and actually tell her that. Because he knew what he was doing was wrong. So it was meditated. That whole thing right there was a meditated abuse and crime and endangerment of a child. And it was all meditated. Okay? So he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was saying to her. He knew exactly how to manipulate her mind. And because she was a child, he knew that it would be easy for him not for her to say anything because of fear. But I think it was more fear for his outcome, because he knew, than for the little girl who really had to go and actually get up the nerve to say that she was being raped. So yeah, that is so disgusting. I mean, it's a shame that, people have to go to that level to do something like that and yet think that it's okay to do it. Because it's not okay. It's not okay to on top of that he was raping her, he was also putting fear into her. And he knew that. So whatever sentencing, I don't know how many years he's going to get. Hopefully it'll be for the rest of his life. And then he will never get out of jail ever, ever, ever. He should never have the opportunity to see any kind of life. because he already in a sense already took a life, took away an innocence that can never be replaced. So that's sad. It's just been a very gloomy day today. Anyway, people, happy to announce that I already created a page, so it's starting. I just wanted everybody to know that, it's go to Facebook, go to Live with Maria, Wednesday 23rd, 7 p.m. I'll be having Frank the Tank. So stay tuned to that. What else? I'll be also interviewing him. It shall be fun because he's a wrestler and he's a champ wrestler. So, he has won his belt, his golden belt. So I have yet to see Frank the Tank wrestle because he has invited me many times. So I'm hoping that I can go when he does invite me the next time. That we can actually see him in action. So really, I really came online just to say that, and mothers out there, or just people in general, be careful with your children. Have a watchful eye when you see a man very close to your children, or almost to the point of being very smothery, or very, very, like very huggy and touchy and stuff like that. Here, he was a father, so just have a watchful eye, because looking at that man, you would not think that, that he could do such a horrendous thing to his own blood, and yet he did. So just be careful, keep your children safe. Stand up for your child, and if your child tells you something, please, parents, listen. Because if your child is telling you, look, mommy, I don't feel comfortable, or I don't want to hug that person, I don't like that person, or that person makes me feel funny, or mommy, or they, like if they're smaller, they'll, your first thing to look for is if your baby is constantly crying with somebody that you leave them with, don't leave them with them. If your child is a child that's never has cried, okay, and all of a sudden your child starts crying when you hand him or her over to the babysitter, for example, or or you see signs that your child looks distressed or even stressed, or just with a lot of anxiety, or or very withdrawn. Sometimes kids who go through a lot of physical or mental trauma or abuse usually are very withdrawn children, and they stay very quiet because they either are being threatened or they are scared to talk because they feel that they have done something wrong and it's not their fault. Look for those signs. Another signs that you can look for if your child doesn't want to be touched. If you see somebody touching your child in an inappropriate way and your child is like backing away or doesn't feel very safe, take them away. Don't let anyone touch them. Don't teach your child to talk to you, to trust you, have open communication with your child, sit down with your child, ask them how they're doing. If your child is, younger or just a toddler, and you find something fishy, like your child is always crying and crying and crying. Another thing too, when they can't keep their food down, when your child is constantly crying, or maybe that child has been hurt, and maybe it's best to take them to the doctor. And these are things to look for, like, I'm not a mother, and yeah, I'm not here to dictate how mothers should raise their children or parents, but be very careful. We hear in the news all the time how there's so many pedophiles out there, and some of them don't even register themselves, and they move into where little kids are populated. So be very careful not to leave your child unattended. Okay? So that's all I really wanted to say, people. Take care, be safe. If you really like this channel, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you need, to talk to someone, and like I've always said in all my videos, and I actually mean it, and if you are depressed and you feel like, you can't handle your stress, or you can't handle, your depression, not that you can't handle it, but you're just like frustrated, and you just don't know who to talk to, and you feel lost, and you feel confused, you feel helpless, you feel hopeless, you feel like nobody cares about you, I am here. Remember, I am just an email away. Mawipa Social Media, or mawipa at gmail.com. You can always, always, always email me. Okay? Always, always can comment here. And we can always talk. I have had like 2 or 3 who have come on here, or who I have heard of, and they're doing, pretty good. So I'm pretty happy. One of my viewers came on the day before yesterday, or yesterday. They told me how, how good they felt, and that was Start. And so I wanted to know what was their page name, so that I can subscribe to their channel, because they are sharing me. So I am so very happy and very proud of Start. And so I just wanted to say hello to my sis, Susan Thomas. I also wanted to say a big shout out to Rodolfo Santiago, and of course a big nice shout out to Start, and to Jules, oh yeah. Big shout out to Jules, yes. And so I'm hoping that everybody will be, safe and sound. And you can always find me here. If you didn't like this video, you give it a thumbs down. If you did like it, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. But remember, I'm always going to be here, and you can catch me on Mawipa Social Media. You can catch me on Live with Maria pretty soon, and you can catch me on Facebook and on Instagram. Please follow me on Facebook with my pages, Live with Maria, my show. And this Wednesday, 23rd at 7 p.m., I will be having a special guest here from Las Vegas, Nevada, Frank the Tank. He's wrestling champ, and he will be our special guest on Wednesday, 23rd at 7 p.m. on Facebook. So everybody, please hop on to Live with Maria. Everybody take care. Love you very much. And stay safe, okay? Mwah. See you real soon. And this is... I know I don't get paid for this shit, but it's called... cold, organic, pressed juice. And drink away, people. You can find this at your nearest location, 7-Eleven. Bam! See you real soon.